Hey everybody, and welcome to the Gauntlet where we go everything esports news. I'm your host, Captain Zeus, followed by my co-host, Novaburst.
Hey,
And I know it's a little late getting this out. We've been kind of busy on our side, but we have the results of the May Melee as well as some roster updates that's happened like within the past couple of days. So it's been pretty crazy.
yes.
First things first, we'll go over the results of the May Melee, which was a phenomenal tournament. Like as we expected in some way, shape, or form, but we're going into it. So Thursday, day one, we had Shanghai versus Florida versus, and then Dallas versus Chengdu. Shanghai beat Florida in a game 5, 3-2. Dallas beat Chengdu 3-1. Dallas winning, not out of the realm of possibilities, to be honest. Kind of saw that coming. I was like, my predictions were really close up until like day 3 or day 2, like the end of day 2, and then Shanghai beating Florida also somewhat expected as well. I saw Shanghai pretty much go into the finals on this one, so which happened. But
Yeah, definitely. But those first round of games kind of went the same for me. Going into predictions, Florida definitely gave Shanghai a fight,
oh,
like
fight,
to the death.
ridiculous.
Like Florida did not give up in this tournament whatsoever. So kudos to Florida. Dallas against Chengdu. I was hoping Chengdu put up more of a fight, man, to be honest. Hope maybe a game 5 as well, like the first game. But Dallas, they just eased through,
They
to be
were these
honest.
past couple of weeks. They were just on crack. It was crazy.
Yep, they just went through, man.
Yep. Day 2 on Friday, we had Dallas versus Shanghai, and another. I think it was. I want to say it was technically game 6 because they tied. If it was this one, I don't remember, but they went the distance. Dallas versus Shanghai, which was Dallas winning 3-2. Phenomenal game, absolutely
Yes.
phenomenal. And then you get to see a rematch later. And then Florida up against Chengdu 3-1. Kind of saw that coming, to be honest. Florida is definitely one of the better teams in this tournament, as shown. They definitely are. They're in this tournament for a reason. They're really. I wish I had a Florida shirt right now.
Yeah, definitely. Man, dude, watching that game. I mean, Chengdu was down, but it was that Havana map. It was like the last map before
Oh
Florida
gosh, that Havana
sealed the
map,
deal.
for
They had
real.
Chengdu had all the things right
Right
to
there.
win that game, to go into a game 5, but they just slipped up. They just slipped up and they let Florida win, thus kicking the Hunters out. And God, I was
Crying.
depressed. I was sad. But Florida is a very scary team.
They really
Like
are.
Yaki, I mean
BQB. I
BQB.
was like,
I
dude, don't
don't
get me
want to
started.
mess with them. Good God. But yeah, Chengdu, honestly,
Crazy.
coming into this tournament, they kind of only were running that ball meta, man. They
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 did run that a
kind of
lot, which
they kind of try to spice it up,
a little
you
bit.
know what I mean? But whenever they chose maps that weren't really fit for ball, they fell down a little bit, and that kind of bit them in the butt.
Chengdu
So,
does have the potential to be another top team. I mean, obviously, as we saw in the regular season, they were doing absolutely phenomenal. Um,
mhm.
they when it goes up against teams that are at their skill level or higher, they definitely need some work to do. That could be on coach's fault, their fault for not getting into the meta or what fits them. But
Yeah,
regardless, absolutely, Florida. We've been saying this since last year. They are a top team. They have the talent there. It was hard for them to blossom last year, but this year they're blossoming. They're
it's
blooming.
scary.
Yeah. And then Dallas, no hit scan
Yeah,
whatsoever. And they're just, we'll get into that in a little bit here.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, day 3 we had the loser bracket finals and then the grand finals. Shanghai versus Florida in the loser bracket finals, which Shanghai 3-0'd them. They were
Yeah.
pretty angry that Florida was making them go the distance in day 1, but Florida, I was hoping was going to put up more of a fight. I mean, they did put up a fight. Like, don't get me wrong, they put up a fight. But
Yeah.
Shanghai, they were putting in overdrive. They're like, we're going to the finals, whether you like it or not.
Mhm.
And boy, did they. And then the grand finals, Dallas versus Shanghai rematch. Basically, day 3 was just rematches. Shanghai versus Florida rematch, then Dallas versus Shanghai rematch. And Dallas won 4-2 because you have to have 4 games to win in the grand finals. Took them to game 6. That series was crazy. When we put the highlight reel of it, 20
Yeah.
minutes worth of highlights. It was like 3-4 hours of content had to go through.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Ridiculous. I was like in shock watching that game. Everyone was on everything, doing everything possible. And again, Dallas had no hit scan whatsoever. Like they did all
That's
of
what.
this without that.
Yeah, a lot of people were bringing that up. Like the casters and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. I swear, every time they talked about Dallas, they're like, "Wow, they're really running with this without a hit scan."
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas is just like, "Hey, shut up, man. We don't
You don't
need
need a
that,
hit
man.
scan,
We don't
obviously.
need a hit scan." And they showed, man.
But
They
they also
showed.
they ran the most random comps. It was like Reaper, Sombra,
Mhm.
Tracer, Soldier. Like I saw legs in there. I saw them running Soldier. When's the last time we saw Soldier in the league?
Which I wish they did more Soldier, man.
Honestly, he's
I
a
think
great
Soldier's a
character.
pretty decent character, but I think that's what kept honestly like Shanghai on their toes. Not only like the quality of Dallas of them being such a good team right
Mm-hmm.
now, but also like compared to like a Chengdu, like oh we know they're probably gonna run a ball.
Yeah,
Like Dallas, you don't know, man. They might pull out a Reaper, like you said, a Sombra, a
legs.
soldier. You know what I mean? So you never know, and I
It's
think that kind of
great.
helped them. That really helped them in the long run.
Yeah, it's awesome that you don't know what to expect from this team, like
Mhm.
at all. Like, and that made it so entertaining. But then you also had like Fearless on Reinhardt just going
My
behind enemy lines and just slamming them down. Like these,
Fearless just dominated in that last
good lord,
Shanghai versus Dallas game. Like
who
Fearless,
flanks
man.
as a Reinhardt? That's what I want to know.
See, you know who flanks as Reinhardt?
Fearless,
Fearless.
because he's fearless, obviously.
Fearless, man. But like that's scary to think like you're fighting and then you're like, wait, guys, where's the giant German guy?
Where's
And
the
then
beef?
hammer down. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my god, it must have been terrifying to play
I
against
felt
that.
so bad for Shanghai, but at the same time, it's like, what are
I
you gonna
mean,
do? They
y-
were skilled. They were
you know what I
doing
mean?
whatever they wanted, which is what I love to see in the league. And I
Hmm.
mean that's why they won. They outplayed everyone else.
They
Finally,
did.
good
They
lord.
did. Like, yeah, man, we saw like we were talking about at the beginning game, they lost to Houston, and
Hmm.
then they lost a couple other games, and we're like, I don't know, this Dallas team, they're promising, but
Looking
they're
kind of shaky,
meh.
yeah.
And then they came in here and they just started breaking down
Literally,
the walls.
their melee run was just rematch after rematch. They're like, the
Pretty
beginning, we just
much.
had to warm up. Now we're gonna beat everyone we lost to, okay? And some more to show that we were actually what we were supposed to be. They beat
Hmm.
Houston, they beat San Fran, which that was a 3-0. They beat
Yep.
Shanghai, they've beaten Chengdu. How these guys are like unstoppable at this point. I'm scared to see what
Very
the rest
scary.
of the league's gonna be having to do to combat that.
I know this next upcoming week's a little break
Hmm.
for right now, but God, man, when it starts back up again, it is gonna be
Intense.
chaos. It's gonna be intense.
It's like Bane
Uh,
came into the Overwatch League and was like, "I was born in the darkness."
exactly. Oh my gosh, man, this season is just so hype,
This
man.
is the
It's
best
so
season
good.
so far. Best season so far. Now, speaking of hype, we do have some roster changes going on. We have some people that left
Yes.
and retired from their respective teams, and some newcomers that some people are going to be excited for,
Mhm.
especially for Dallas. But Nova's going to go ahead and let us know about all that. Nova.
Exactly. So we're gonna hop into players and coaches who have left. Starting off, we have Rhea, who actually retired from Washington.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Next, we have sorry if I butchered this. Arcane,
Arachne. I'm going with that.
Arachne.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might go with that. And Damon, they were the charge coaches. We'll go into a little detail after all this. And then Neptuno, Paris's support, actually leaving Paris. So going into the charge coaches, charge have not been doing so
At
hot
all.
at all this season. We know like last season,
They were
late
pretty
in the
good.
season, they were popping off.
Mm-hmm.
But then it didn't really help them in the long run in the like finals, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? That long stretch didn't help them out. But we thought they would be a little promising. Didn't happen, so guess gonna drop some coaches off already.
Yeah,
Dang.
and these are the coaches they just picked up
You
starting
know what
the
I mean?
season too. So
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't give him much of a chance. But I mean, hey, what do we know?
What do we know? But hopefully they pick up something to help kickstart them back up.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea retiring from Washington. It's very early in the season,
Very.
and already retiring. Washington too was doing fantastic. Sure they lost to Florida, but hey, Florida is a very tough
Florida's a
team.
pretty good team. It's kind of understandable.
But I was expecting maybe something at least mid-season or towards the finals if they didn't make it that far.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely this early after just the first May Melee tournament, I was a little surprised to see
We also had
Rhea
like
retire.
Eggsy having to retire like right before the
Mm-hmm.
season started, obviously for medical reasons. But I mean,
Yeah,
this season's got a lot of shake and bake.
shake and bake,
Shake
man.
and bake.
And then lastly, Neptuno leaving Paris as their support.
That's a bit of a bummer.
That you know what I mean? It's Paris. They're just middle, just in the middle of the run. I didn't expect Neptuno to leave Paris. You know what I mean? They already had everyone from Paris go
Going
to
to
Dallas. So you know what
Yeah.
I mean? I was like,
The
Paris, you gotta
Dallas
hold on to
Eternal.
Paris had to hold on to what they had, and Neptuno just leaving. Damn.
Man. I feel
You know what I mean?
I feel like he's never gonna have his time to shine. To be honest, I mean he kind of has this season, but man, he's just that poor guy.
Poor lad.
Poor lad.
Poor lad. New.
New.
We have some new players coming in. We have Dreedro.
Yeah.
Dreedro?
Dreedro.
All right, there you go.
Here we go.
As a new Paris support, guest filling in for Neptuno,
Mhm.
leaving. Next, we have Pine actually coming in for Dallas for a hit scan DPS.
Which everyone is hyped about.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then Toby and Hotba coming in into Philly, which, Philly already
Ridiculous.
stacked.
Yeah.
San Fran already stacked. So just why not stack all the top teams already?
They're stackable. It's like Pringles.
Exactly, like the Pringles. Oh my gosh, the Pringles commercial they showed during the
Dude,
Overwatch.
that was so. Anyways,
But Dreedro, basically, like I said, coming in, I'm guessing to replace Neptuno, leaving for Paris support. Pine being Dallas hit scan DPS, even though Dallas just came out was like,
we don't need one.
hey, we don't need this, and obviously we won Melee, so
The fact that they picked up a DPS just shows like
Mhm.
we don't even need this guy, but we have him just in case.
Yeah, it's more of like an option thing. Like, hey, maybe we do need to run a hit scan on this map. Drop in Pine, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like me and Zeus were talking about, we don't expect Pine to be starting anytime soon or playing anytime soon. It's been a while since he's played, but
Yeah, we haven't seen him since like the inaugural season, so it's
you know what I mean?
they're
Yeah.
gonna have to get him back into pro playing. But man, everyone's so hyped about this guy, which is
Mhm.
understandable. He's great. He's a great player.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
And then we got Toby and Hotba joining into Philly. I mean, they already have a great resume already. Now joining Philadelphia, a team that's, they're up there, but they always,
They're like
in that
New
second
York.
place.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they're like they
But
have the juice to be a top team. They're just always
mhm.
too they don't make it. They don't make it. I
Yeah,
don't know where I was going, but they don't make
they're
it.
so close, but yet so far.
Thank you.
And
There's
now
that.
with Toby and Hoppa joining, it can only be better. You know what I mean? It can only get better for
My,
Philadelphia.
I mean, my concern is Philly's just kind of. I wouldn't say struggled. I mean, they're in the APAC region, so they're up
Hmm.
against kind of the same teams, but we haven't really seen them. I don't know, shine that much lately. Especially
Okay.
they didn't even make the melee finals, which everyone was kind of hoping that they would. You know what I mean? And even though yes, they have a stacked roster, it obviously isn't doing much. Like Washington had a stacked roster and they
I
didn't
mean,
even make it.
San Fran had a stacked
San Fran's
roster,
got a
and
stacked
they
roster.
got 3-0.
Yeah,
So
so it's I think at this point it doesn't matter if you're stacked or not. It's how you play, which I know people are just like, yeah, that's obvious. But I mean, come on, if you have the MVP roster, it really doesn't matter like how you're playing. You're all super good. But if you have like this season where everything's unexpected, no one's playing hit scans,
yeah,
you gotta shake it up. You need more than just talent, you need skill as well. Not to say these guys don't have it. It's kind of a little question mark there.
I definitely feel that, man. Also, I feel like team chemistry too.
That too.
A lot of these teams are just getting thrown together.
Oh yeah, especially in the
the-
offseason,
yeah.
ridiculous.
So these players, they might know like I heard of you, man. We played against you, but like never like, okay, now I gotta play with
you.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of working the same play style and stuff like that, and just trying to get that W. But Dallas apparently they got it down to a T already.
Yeah, Dallas is
which
looking great.
it's basically Paris to Dallas. You know what
See,
I
I'm
mean?
just so glad we don't have JT here for all this, because man, he would not shut up about it.
Just
Choo choo.
that train would be
hype
going on
train.
forever and ever and ever.
Dude,
Oh my gosh.
for
Yeah.
real. Oh, and then Dredra, I know we kind of went over him. From what I've seen and heard, he's kind of like an FD God Junior or 2.0. So we're gonna expect some good Lucio plays from him.
Ooh.
So that's good. I mean, FD God's a great support player, especially on Lucio. Phenomenal, one of the best. So to have someone that's really similar in his style, or people calling him like FD God Junior or 2, that's pretty cool. So maybe that'll help Paris in the support side, which could be why they replaced him with Neptuno, because Neptuno wasn't really there for him.
He was there but wasn't there.
There but wasn't there.
Yeah.
But like I said, I feel bad for Neptuno. He's having this. It's been hard. He's been just kind of going all over the place with teams with these past couple of seasons. So
yeah, that must be tough for a player, man.
dude,
Definitely.
for real. It's that inconsistency is scary, especially when it comes to your pay. Like, you're a pro player and you're just jumping teams. Like, that's gotta be terrible.
Yeah, man, it's tough.
But yeah, you guys let us know in the comments how you thought about the main melee and what you think about these roster changes as well. It's absolutely crazy. I don't know what to expect for season 4 of the Overwatch League. It's phenomenal. It's great. I don't like Dallas being number 1 because I'm a Houston guy. So maybe next the June joust, it's Houston's turn. Yeah. No DPS, no hit scans. No hit scans, right? That's the key.
No hit scans. We don't need
But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We got plenty of highlights from the main melee and just the season in general, so feel free to check those out. They'll probably have some kind of pop-ups on the screen. And then check out our nerdy channel, the Block Party, where we have podcasts, D&D, the whole shebang. All right? But yeah, I'm Gavin Zeus, that's Novaburst, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.
Peace.